We are City of Five Nations podcast, and man, it's been a day and a week, that's for sure. But as a new business owner, I've got somebody on tonight that I'm sure you're going to enjoy. I've already enjoyed even the first 5 minutes of us just going back and forth a little bit. And of course, I am talking about Cole Payne. What's up, Cole?
How y'all doing? Nothing much.
We're doing good. Yeah, we are happy to have you tonight. And hey, show off your shirt. I like to show off the shirt right off the top. What is it?
Cardinals.
You
St.
know.
Louis Cardinals.
Only the best, man, on this show. Only the best.
Yep, only the best.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cole, that's one of the reasons why I was excited when somebody suggested that we ask you to come on to the We Are City of Five Nations podcast in the 30 Days of Community Building series, because you have quite a history in our community. Can you tell us a little bit about growing up?
Oh, well, I've lived in Shawnee my whole life, and I went from pre-K to 8th grade, I went to North Rock Creek, and then from Shawnee was my high school. Now I am attending OBU as a health and physical education major.
What is your major? I'm sorry?
Health and physical education.
I love it. Well, did you know I was a Cougar as well?
Yes, I think I did.
North Rock Creek treated me well, too. And when you came to Shawnee, you hooked up with quite a class of teammates, and you guys went on a historic run for the City of Five Nations. Talk a little bit about that first year that you came to the high school. You were in 9th grade. The baseball team always had sustained success, but it never had been able to get over the hump. What did you see and what did you experience your freshman year at the high school level in baseball?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with that we all grew up playing with each other, because that whole senior class, most of us played with each other since I don't even know when, but we've known each other since the start. And then freshman year, I just got to get to know more of the people. And then freshman year, we got beat out of the first round. I didn't really play much freshman and sophomore year, but sophomore year, we finally go over the hump and won the state title, and that was what started it all.
Yes, it did. So that freshman year, you freshman, I think that was the first time you had ever really gotten spanked. And what I understood was that you guys just said, that ain't happening. And then I believe you had a couple of powerful seniors. Josh Roulette was a senior your sophomore year,
Yes.
and also Cooper, right? Two seniors.
Yeah.
And you guys started to put it together, and it was a lot of fun to watch. What did you admire the most about your classmates that went on that 3-year run with you?
Oh, it was just the teamwork. We all, even if we weren't friends outside of baseball, we just came together when we were playing baseball and figured it out somehow.
Yeah, and you guys each had individual talents. And Cole, if I remember right, you played a lot on first base and you did a lot of pitching.
Yes. I did some pitching.
Well, when you came in, you shut him down, and you had a little brother who came in your senior year, and he helped out, didn't he?
Yes. He threw the first game in regionals senior year and threw a no-hitter.
I loved it. Carson is his name, correct?
Yeah, he was a senior this year, so it kind of sucks for him. They were going to go on a good run this year. They had a good chance this year.
I understand that, but you know what? Things got to come together to put on a run like you guys had, and we're talking about your high school team. You went on something like a 60-game undefeated streak. Is that right? Somewhere in there?
Well, we went 40-0 senior year, but I don't know what the streak ended at because we started a certain streak in junior year, but I don't know exactly what it ended at.
Well,
it was 50 to 60 something. I don't know.
It was up there right around 60, and you were closing in on a record. And the interesting thing about that was your junior year, at the end of the year, you were like on a 14, 15 game streak, and you farted around like the game or two before regionals started and got beat. Otherwise,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have been up in the 70s or the 80s. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, it would have been.
Well, and it still was awesome. Don't get me wrong. Now, Cole, tell me this: when you guys were named the USA Today national champions in your senior year, how did that make you feel, and how did you guys celebrate? If you can tell us.
At the moment, I didn't really even realize how cool that was. Like right now, looking back at it, it's like crazy to think that we went 40-0. Because I mean, it wasn't like we even had any close games besides like one in McAllister in the first game of state. It was just kind of like we were just dominant. Honestly, it was crazy.
It really was, and it was a lot of fun to watch. And your parents, you had a lot of parental support, and just a lot of the community came around you. And so, enough about that. I mean, we could talk about that, and I may come back to that to put some prods in for some other people. But from there, you decide, okay, you're going to stay in town. Why did you stay in town to go to college, and what has that experience been like so far?
Well, I went to Oklahoma Baptist University because that's where my parents met, and I've always wanted to go there. So I just decided to stay and attend there. And then, right when I was about to start second semester, Coach Paxson and Coach Boyer offered me the job at Shawnee Middle School, head baseball coach. So I've done that the past 3 years. So my college experience has been good right now. So I'm enjoying it right now.
So you came into the coaching environment in town, but also you now started your own business, haven't you?
Yeah, it's not really a business yet. It's just my friend Devin and I are trying to start a little side gig to try to get some extra cash on the side just because we enjoy doing mowing and just keeping yards clean.
Being out in the sun.
Yeah, I like that a lot too.
But Cole, let me tell you, that's called a business. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to start a little one. It's not big enough to be a business, but yeah, it is.
Hey man, if it's bringing in extra cash and you enjoy doing it, that's big enough, man. That's success right there. If you can keep that up, that's
Yeah,
awesome. So how does somebody get in touch with you guys if we need
it's
lawn
going
work,
good
and
right now.
what type of lawn work do you do? How can we get in touch with you, and what kind of lawn work do you do?
Well, you can get in touch with us at our numbers. My number is 405-650-6915.
Hmm.
And all we do is just mow the yard and weed eat and then blow off extra grass, whatever we need to do. And if you need to do us a little side work, we can easily do that also.
Well, that's very good, man. Tell us about your coaching experience. Have you liked that? And what is the most challenging that you find in your coaching experience?
Oh, I enjoy it a ton. It's just the challenging part is getting all the kids to listen. It's interesting to see how, like, as you see yourself in them when you were back then, but back then you didn't think you were doing anything wrong. So it's interesting to figure out how to communicate what you're trying to teach them in a simpler way with age they are.
Wow, that's a wonderful perspective at, if I may, such a young age for yourself, 21, 22 years old, to be able to realize kids are just kids. It's just a process. We've all been there. We never really have to leave there. It's just how do we communicate? Do you have any tricks of the trade that you've already figured out, like how to get them to do what you want them to do as a coach?
Could you repeat that, Daniel? I couldn't hear that last part.
Sure. Have you come up with any tricks of the trade early in your career now as a coach to get your players to do what you want them to do?
No, I haven't really figured out too much. Just if they're not listening, just send them on a run because they don't like that at all.
Well, so
Still learning a lot.
that's a trick of the trade. I remember back when I was in middle school, and it was down to the trees and back. If we were messing up, it was the coach would
Yeah.
he wouldn't even blow his whistle. He'd just go trees and back, and that was it, man. We hated that. What about you guys?
Yeah, it was always like that. It's fun.
Some things never change, do they, Cole? You have to just try the things that worked on you, don't you?
Yeah, you always have to repeat what worked on you. Works every time.
So, what about Coach Boyer? He was your coach all through high school. I'm sure that you admired him quite a bit. He enjoyed that run, I know. Tell us a little bit about your coach through high school and the impact that he had on you that you see evidence today.
Well, one thing that comes to mind is sophomore year when I didn't get to play that much sophomore year. I just came in every once in a while, and I always thought I deserved the spot to play. But now that I look back at it, now that I sat through that year, I think it made me become a better player and work harder to earn my spot. So junior and senior year was my time, and I made it my time. And yeah.
So he helped you a little bit with discipline. I like that about Todd. He's not one to basically tell you what you want to hear. He pretty much tells you what he thinks you should hear. Sometimes it's what you want to hear, and sometimes it's not. It takes a special individual to do that. Who else in your life really spoke into your life, Cole, and made an impact towards your success?
Oh, definitely my dad. He was my coach from third grade on until high school. But once we got to high school, he just let me go, and he just taught me everything about baseball, and he made me become the player I am today, or was.
I love to hear that. And, that's something that all dads desire. I hope sometime to hear my son say that about me. Talk a little bit about your dad, who he is, what he means to you, and what he does.
Well, my dad was a baseball player. He played at OBU and OU. He played at one more school, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. But he works at a tube industry in Louisiana right now, and that's what he does right now. But he was a pitcher at OU and played a little bit at OBU also.
When did he graduate? Do you know from high school or from OBU? When was that?
He went to Bartlesville High School, so it wasn't that far from here. But I don't even know exactly when he graduated to college.
That would be wild if we were at school together and I didn't even realize it and he didn't even realize it. And we found out tonight. So he's down in Louisiana. I want to ask you, do you like
that is fun.
Do you like shrimp? Do you like shrimp?
Do I like shrimp?
Yeah.
I love shrimp. Yeah, I love shrimp.
Your dad's down in Louisiana now. What part of Louisiana?
I do not know exactly.
Is he down south of New Orleans or is he up north, like around Shreveport?
I think he'll be north because he lives in Pennsylvania right now, but he's moving to Louisiana in a little bit to work.
That is so cool. I might need a hookup with you, Cole. This is so funny because you know what I want to do? I want to start bringing frozen shrimp up to Shawnee and selling it by the pound and doing shrimp boils. Wouldn't that be kind of fun?
Yeah, that would be fun.
That's in the plan, man. Maybe you'll get another side business going. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you now would be what, a junior in college? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm a junior. I'm a junior right now, and next year I'll be a senior in college.
All right. So from your perspective as a collegiate person, how did this COVID-19, and how it all played out? What's your perspective on that? How did your life change, and what was your attitude going through it?
Well, COVID-19 started. I first started to realize about it because I worked for the Thunder as a ball boy, and I started to realize it when they started calling meetings about it. And then when we came, I was supposed to work the Utah Jazz Thunder game, but they texted us like the day before to not come because they're trying to limit staff at the event. And then that's when it all started to hit and everything just started going crazy. And then the next couple of days, we canceled school for 2 weeks. And then right after that, done for the year.
Okay, so does everybody pass? I mean, do you get to pass all your classes, or what have you been doing to keep it going?
Yeah, just doing assignments every day because that's all the teachers upload is just assignment, assignment, assignment.
Well, we learned something else. You were a ball boy. How does somebody get a gig like that, man? You get to get all these fun gigs.
You just got to apply places.
You got to know where to apply, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, that's something, and I'd like you to comment on it if you would, Cole, is the success that you had through your sports throughout high school. Do you think that helped you in your confidence to be able to step out and try new things so early in life like you're doing now?
Yeah, I think it helped me a bit because for me, I'm a shy guy. So baseball made me come out more and just stand out more and go try to achieve what I want to achieve at that time.
Well, it sure sounds like you're doing a lot of wonderful things and you're making a lot of wonderful decisions. Man, I can't tell you how proud we are of you and what you guys accomplished, in your sports career. But with each and every one of you from that team that I meet, I am so much more proud of the individuals that you are and that you're becoming. As I ran around or ran into some of the guys, because my daughter's in your class, of course, that I always was so impressed with just the hearts that you all displayed. You're just all wonderful young men. And I want to thank you, Cole, for taking your time tonight and being with us, sharing a little bit more about yourself. And do you have any questions for me? It's only fair.
No, thank you guys. I enjoy this a lot, and I don't have any questions really.
All right, man. Well, you have a wonderful evening, and if you enjoy this a lot, I'm going to get you to hook up a little bit, okay? Can you come out and help us out with some of the sports
Okay.
and some of the different things we do?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. We'll do that. Again, thank you, Cole Payne, for being with us tonight on the We Are City of Five Nations podcast. Cole, you have a great night, man.
You too.
A lot of wonderful people in the City of Five Nations, and that young man is evidence of it. Tomorrow, we have another fantastic guest in the morning. We have Pastor Tony Rome, who's going to be with us. He's a pastor at Galilee Baptist Church, which I visited not long ago. And it just happened that Pastor Rome was out on that day. He was ministering somewhere else, and they had a guest pastor. I so wanted to meet him because I had heard of the wonderful things that he was doing in the neighborhood. And I talked to him one day through the door, but we didn't really get to know each other. And this week I reached out because he was somebody that I thought of, somebody that I admired, somebody that I heard good things about, somebody who I knew maybe just a little bit, but not as well as I wanted to. So tomorrow morning, we'll have Pastor Tony Rome with us, and we hope that all of you join with us to get to know and experience getting to know new people. Remember, for the podcast, share it, like it, and that will allow you to expand the audience of who gets to know everybody around the community, because we truly feel here at the City of Five Nations podcast that community is what's going to change our world. No matter what community that you're from, look around you at all the wonderful people. Find something that you all can be proud of and you can all connect with, and you too will change your world. Thank you again for watching. We are City of Five Nations podcast, and this has been another in our series of 30 days of community building. And remember, in the City of Five Nations, we are building community one season at a time. Good night, everybody. Have a great Friday.